Witam wszystkich serdecznie, moi drodzy. Na live oglądamy właśnie dzisiaj w czwartek, 24, pokaz Phantom Liberty, czyli oczywiście DLC tego, co nas czeka już niebawem w Cyberpunku 2000... ile? Co? 2000 co? 2077. Będzie wielki update, będzie dużo nowości. No ja czekam na pokaz tej policji i na wiele innych rzeczy, których do tej pory nie było.
Let's go.
My favorite mark.
A to jest trailer, który był pokazany na Gamescomie.
There's a job. Coordinates provided. You know what to do.
Get your ammo, assault rifles, tactical gear.
Hands, think it up, buying some iron.
The logical choice.
Lubię ten soundtrack, który teraz jest.
Damn. Green view. Home stretch. Getting a ripper to overclock your chrome before
Cyberware. A, bo właśnie będą te wszczepy zmienione i w ogóle będzie zmienione te drzewka talentowe będą. I będzie jedno nowe w ogóle.
Get this show.
Ja nie będę przechodził od nowa, od zera, ale sobie całkowicie zrestartuję postać. W sensie zrestartuję jej skille i sobie od nowa rozdam. O, i to jest nowe, Relik. Skill tree, który wykorzystuje właśnie rzeczy związane tutaj z relikiem. I dzięki temu będzie można zrobić co? Taki build poruszania się szybszego, blinki, teleporty.
I'm closing the gig and sending you a
Tu
little
samochody
bonus.
nowe.
Something that will spirit you home safely. Someone dispatched a hunter. Good luck.
Fuck incoming! Fire QC drone!
Wehikle Combat.
Got a netrunner cinch here! Need backup right now!
All nearby units. We got a situation in Watson. Roger, dispatch. We're on our way.
Nancy, please. For fuck's sake.
Your actions are illegal.
Let me put it this way.
No ja jestem ciekaw. Niech pokażą mi to. Niech mi pokażą, jak naprawdę w gameplayu wygląda te pościgi policyjne i te obławy policyjne. Czy to będzie... Bo to, co tutaj widzę, niestety, ale może tylko i wyłącznie występować... Niestety, mi się wydaje, że to może występować tylko w fabularnych misjach. I wiecie, jest misja, w której po prostu jest to oskryptowane, że będzie was zgoniła policja, a potem się okaże, że w normalnym jeżdżeniu po mieście tego nie będzie. Siema!
Hello everyone, I'm Materiał, I'm a senior community manager and welcome to
Cześć,
another
Polacy.
episode of the Red Streams about Phantom Liberty and Update 2.0. Today with
Amelia
me I have some
Kołat.
special guests and of course my co-host Alicja Kozera. Hey guys.
Alicja Kozera, ciekawe skąd jest.
Kulczycki, lead environment artist.
Kulczycki.
And Gabe Amatangelo, game director.
Hi everyone.
O Jezu, jedyny, który nie jest Polakiem
Super
chyba.
excited. Give us the cues. What do we need to say?
Yeah, one second.
What's next?
So a few days ago, we showed you guys new ways to play trailer for Cyberpunk 2077. And today in the stream, we're gonna take a deep dive in some of the features that have been showcased in the trailer.
Godej.
So we're gonna go through the reworked perks and the new relic tree from
Okay.
Phantom Liberty. We'll also show you a little bit of Dogtown and some characters that you're gonna meet in Phantom Liberty. We will show you the revamped police system in
Tak!
action. And also some of our brand new vehicle combat and
Wehikle.
car chases, together with new missions that are vehicle geeks. So as you can see, we have a lot to go through today.
Ciekawe, co tam piją.
That means that we're gonna be jumping
Potiony
from
mana,
one part of the game
HP.
to another, and the gameplay that you're gonna see is pre-recorded.
Potion
But
na
we are
staminę.
live with you, so if
Żółty.
you have any questions for us, feel free to drop them in the chat. And we'll try to answer some of them. We'll also have some questions that we already gathered from our official forums and Discord. So we will finish the stream with short Q&A. So let's jump in.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You ready?
Jump in.
Okay. So I think we will start with the Phantom Liberty beginning, if we can. So yeah, one of the questions that we often see on our socials is when we start the Phantom Liberty, you know,
Dobra.
the level, the story was, you know, in the base game. So
Yeah. Okay. So you can basically it's after the Brigitte. Or first off, no spoilers on Phantom Liberty, but it's
Dobra,
very
nie będzie
difficult to answer
spoilerów.
that question without spoiling a little bit of the base game. But the Voodoo Boys Brigitte portion of the storyline, after you finish that, is when this quest essentially unlocks. Now,
Dog
as a
eat
player
dog.
coming to the game
Pies
for the
je
first
psa.
time, or even
Co?
when you're coming back, if you want to skip ahead in character creation,
Co to
you're
za
able to
misja?
skip ahead to that moment and immediately jump into the Phantom Liberty action. And of course, if you have characters that are already, or saves that are already past that, immediately Songbird's going to reach out to you when you get into the game. And then if you happen to have saves that are before...
A mam wam
that
tłumaczyć?
portion of it, then there will
W
be,
naszej
in the
grze
journal telling you
zostaną
what you need to do to
wprowadzone
get to that.
minigierki.
But we haven't
Wszystkie pojazdy będą miały skiny i te skiny będą mogły w postaci ruletki być kręcone w minigierkach. Kupując w naszym sklepie na cyberpunk.pl będziecie mogli sobie po prostu wypłacać później
So if you finish the game,
należytość.
obviously your save will be before that point of no return point, and then yes, Songbird will hit you up and say, "I got something for you," and then you can go from there.
right, we already received a call from Selmy. She told us to go to the Dogtown gates. Can we actually maybe tell a bit more about Songbird herself? Who is she? What she's doing there?
Sure. So she's on a plane right now with President Rosalind Myers.
Dobra.
Dogtown is a district that there was.
Teraz mamy
a war
informacje
there,
dotyczące
there was the
tego,
front,
nie?
And after the war, one of the colonels took control of it and had a falling out with the new United States.
Johnny nadal
Kurt.
jest z nami.
And Kurt has hijacked basically control of the plane. This is what Songbird's telling you, and needs your help. There's no way that it can communicate with anyone except to you through the relic. So you are the sort of lifeline, their last resort, to try to help intercept what's going to go on there. And you decide whether or not you want to answer the call. And of course, she says, like, listen, I'm connecting to you through the relic. I know about the bomb ticking your head, and I'm a badass netrunner. I can solve this for you as long as you can solve this for me. And that is the deal. And you got to decide whether or not you want to jump in.
So this is V's motivation, right?
This is V's motivation at the beginning, yes.
And we trust her.
That's for players to find out.
All right. Do you trust her?
You can't ask me such things.
Kacper, do you trust her?
I think I'm on game this one. You guys have to play it and figure out for yourself.
Co to, kto to
It's
jest?
a very intriguing story.
Dobra. Fajne masz
Alright, I
ordery.
know she's also giving us the new relic tree. Can we maybe talk about the new relic?
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but right here, this is quite a scene. She's showing you how badass she is.
Yeah.
Let's wait a beat, because I'm not sure, has this been revealed yet? This hasn't
No,
been seen
this is
yet,
the
right? This is the first time
first
it's being
time.
seen.
Ona nawet potrafiła Johnego
If it
wypierdzielić.
was me, I wouldn't trust her.
So she's suppressing, because having both her and Johnny on the relic at the same time is causing an issue with like seizures with you there. And so she's like, listen, I'm going to suppress him for now, but it's for everyone's safety. He's still there, as I think you can see in some of the dialogue there. What was your question? I'm sorry, I went on that tangent because I wanted to highlight
like,
that.
we
So
can,
she's
you
the
know, we
real
can
deal.
still talk
She's
about
the
that.
real deal.
Well, you know, she's a netrunner for the president, right? So she needs to be a
Top
badass,
top
right?
net runner for the new United States. Yep.
But yeah, coming back to the relic, right? We got a relic from her. Maybe we want actually
We
the
didn't get-
players to get to that point watching this gameplay.
Yeah, they're going to see that here in a moment. So basically, in addition to communicating through the relic and being able to suppress Johnny there,
CD
she
Projekt
is
masz
able to basically utilize, enhance it. And says,
24
listen, I'm going to unlock
zakończenie,
some
tu
potential of
masz.
this relic in your head.
To jest
and
wykres
this is gonna unlock the
3-miesięczny.
skill tree, which I
Tu jest
guess we'll see in a
roczny.
moment there. And is this when I talk
Tygodniowy.
about what the skill tree does?
In a
or-
moment.
Okay,
Let's
sorry, I'm
watch
getting
it.
ahead.
Ale daj tam w okresie jednodniowego.
By Songbird like that.
I
No,
mean, I wouldn't.
okres
We'll find out how
jednodniowy, no to
Johnny
masz.
feels a little bit later in the story.
Dogtown, not so sure. You'll need to get her out of the plane before anyone else does.
Nothing's for free, Songbird. We should talk biz.
Just got a taste of my abilities, I believe. There's more. I can cure you. Once and for all.
Can't know how much I'd really love to believe you, but
I know, V. You've hit a dead end. Nowhere to turn. Been there. Believe me. Consider this, an advance. Your relic's crowded with clusters of corrupted
Inteligencja czy
data.
kurwa, co?
Yeah. Now we can jump to the relics. So yeah, we got the new relic tree. How does it work?
Okej.
So the relic tree
Pokaż.
essentially enhances various different cyberware. That's kind of the theme of it. And the way that
Czyli
you're
nowe
able to
punkty relik
cheat,
się
she
będzie
helps you unlock
dostawało.
some of it, the skill tree opens up, but the way you're able to unlock more potential of it, basically get the points that you can spend for more stuff, is by finding Militech data terminals throughout Dogtown.
Czemu to wygląda tak źle? Wiesz co, bo to jest nagranie streamowane i ja jeszcze też to streamuję później, więc tu są ciemne kolory i po prostu nagrywanie czegokolwiek podczas nocy i małej ilości oświetlenia zawsze wygląda źle. Po prostu słabo wybrali do prezentacji tą miejscówkę. Zobacz, tam gdzie jest oświetlone wygląda ok, ale tu to wygląda okropnie, nie?
As your enemies are out there, you know, if you get headshots, if you get precise headshots, you get damage bonuses, whatnot. We've unlocked basically, it starts to target different locations where people's enemies.
Dobra, relik jest. Jailbreak można robić. Okej. Emergency cloaking.
It then has sort of like an EMP explosion. So it's almost like
Protocol.
an AOE headshot. Whereas
Dzięki,
headshots are
X-Stealer,
single
pozdro.
target damage. This is kind of an AOE thing. So it adds a new tactical element. We've got things where like the gorilla arms that you have, you can really enhance it. And as you're doing damage with the gorilla arms, you can charge it up to then do, and again, I apologize, throughout this stream, I'm going to get the skill names wrong because we changed it so many times, so I don't remember the one, but I remember the themes of it. So you can knock the crap out of someone and then they go flying. I think we saw some of that in the trailer. With the Manus blades, you can charge it up and get like a really long range, like 30-meter plus leap out of it, which is really good. And for the overall gameplay kit of being able to kind of close gaps to snipers you see in the distance, stuff like that. With the mono wire, you'll be able to put, as a netrunner, hacks through the mono wire onto the enemies. And then as you further enhance it, you can then spread the hacks from the enemy that you put it to others with the mono wire. The optical camo gets an enhancement through this tree as well, where you're able to like fully kind of just like vanish, like poof, out of combat if you want to reset kind of the stealth gameplay loop, if you mess up, or if you want to jump in and get revealed tactically for a reason and then pop out, you can enhance it that way.
Dobra, teraz będą gadać o rozwoju postaci i o tych zmianach związanych z drzewkiem talentowym. I powiem wam szczerze, że to o tym się źle słucha. W sensie, jeżeli ci ktoś będzie gadał o tym, że i ci będzie chciał zwizualizować słowami, jak będzie drzewko wyglądało i opisać wszystkie skille, to zawsze słabo brzmi. Dopiero jak ciebie interesuje to, jeżeli to jest twoja strona, jeżeli to jest twoja postać. Jeżeli to jest twoja postać, ty sobie rozkładasz drzewka, ty sobie rozkładasz skille, to ciebie to tylko interesuje. A w tym momencie, wiesz, no to jest takie suche gadanie, nie? Ale wiadomo, no muszą to powiedzieć, bo muszą powiedzieć jak najwięcej rzeczy, że jak najwięcej rzeczy będzie w update'cie, że jak najwięcej rzeczy będzie zmienionych.
Placing them in places that are fun to vault to and whatnot.
Okay, and if we start as the, Phantom Liberty standalone, right?
O właśnie, no.
How many points do we get at the beginning?
No bo to jest jakby gra plus będzie taka?
So if you do the Phantom Liberty standalone, you get your first set of points from her that allows you to pick sort of one of the foundation ones.
Czyli zaczniemy z 3 punktami, tak? Od niej. To będzie początek.
I can't remember the exact number of points overall, but obviously if you find them all, you can fill up. Yeah, that's right.
All right. Right, so now we can actually jump into the juicy gameplay details. I know you've been dying to tell us a bit more about the gameplay that we are preparing. So
Za dużo tych słów używają. Juicy.
You ready? All right. So we prepared.
Juicy to może być gameplay goticzka.
For our players to see. And yeah, I also wanted to ask about the perks reset and the attribute reset. Can we maybe share some information about that before we jump to the
Sure. So everyone is going to be able to, with your save files, your characters, you'll be able to reset your attributes once. And we're doing this obviously because we did a big revamp of the system. And your relic, or I'm sorry, not your relic, but your perk points, you'll be able to respend, but you'll also be able to do it on the fly. Not while you're in combat, but whenever you can refund and readjust stuff and find the way you want to play. So that answers the question, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Right, so we ready with the gameplay? Let's go. So yeah, like I mentioned, we prepared a short showcase of the new skills and perks for the solo build.
Czyli to jest to. Okej, no to już wiemy, nie?
I know this is your favorite way to play.
You're carrying the whole show right now.
Oh, so what? Okay, yeah.
Body.
We're going to the body tree.
Ja szedłem w body.
And I can't quite see which ones
Zrestartowałem to, ale to w ogóle wygląda całkowicie inaczej teraz to drzewko, nie?
Because overall, the way we approached it is that we
drzewko,
wanted to
kurde,
say,
nie wiem, czy to drzewko można nazwać.
Dark future, there's cyberware. What are the different fantasies?
Bardziej skomplikowane niż w Diablo 4 chyba.
Experience the world, and which ones are missing? Which ones do we need to add? And one that we felt that wasn't fully fleshed out, or you felt viscerally, if you will, is this like sort of like Terminator, type cyberware where you're just in there in the thick of it. So one of the things on the tree is you can get it to where the heavy machine guns. If you remember, the heavy machine guns of the base game are like brrr, whatever. Now you got the strength. You can really keep it steady and and just melt people with it. The other thing is that the overall theme of this is to be in the midst of the action. So the more you're pushing your fight, there's this adrenaline thing, and the adrenaline meter goes up, and it's sort of this extra level of health or whatever. And if you can do the overhand slam, Quake, I think is what we call it now, bam! And the more people you catch in it, the more health that comes back. And so it's all about being in the thick of it and in the midst of the crossfire, but as long as you keep pressing that attack, you can survive. And there's various different ways to mitigate stuff. And then, of course, if there's a sniper in the distance, you can pick up a body and throw it at them. So we give the full kit, to deal with all the different dynamics in a different way, right? To really just feel different. And crap, there was one there that I just, so what kind of pairs pretty well with the body tree, which I think they showed there a little bit, is on one of the sides of the tech tree, you can unlock the ability to go even higher with your cyberware. So there's a cyberware limit, and then in the tech tree, if you get the right
Ale on ma przyspieszony teraz, tak? Rozumiem, że...
If you push past that limit, you're at risk
Aha, jest dupnięcie fest mocne.
Edge Runner perk, by the way, is the name of one of them, of course, right?
Dobra, oni tutaj w tym gameplayu teraz wszystko naraz pokazują, czyli walkę wręcz, walkę z bronią białą. Nawet możesz jak małpa uderzyć, kurde, w ziemię. I dupnąć. Możesz cofnąć, możesz przyspieszyć ten czas. No, tutaj jakby w tej walce jest wszystko naraz pokazane.
Oh, and of course, how can I miss? So another way you can close gaps is you can charge, and then you knock people back like bowling
no to tego nie było, że możesz chłopem rzucać. No to dobre jest. Jeżeli masz odpowiednią ilość siły, żeby dupnąć się rękami w ziemię, no to możesz ludźmi rzucać też, nie?
There it goes. That was like a gratuitous throw there, which is fun to do, of course, as well. But you feel really satisfied if you see an enemy in the distance and you throw and you arc it just right and bam, you splat them. It's so much fun.
So you actually touch already.
Ale on już HP nie ma, nie?
But well, I would like us to clarify.
O kurde, ale
player is not getting psychosis, right?
Correct. Yeah, no, I saw there was some, so pushing the limit and getting into the fury state, you're not ever going to like lose control of your character and start shooting civilians and stuff like that. Like it's like that's not like, but if you do, get to the point where you start on your own agency creating mayhem, definitely the police, which we'll talk about later,
dawaj, rzuć nim gdzieś w coś.
As a cyber psycho, because essentially you have the agency and you are behaving that way.
So you can
but you don't lose control of your character. Yes, you can roleplay it.
No to będzie teraz ulubiony finisher za każdym razem.
In the anime, where it's like your health is at a compromise, but you keep pulling it, and we call that the edge runner and the fury limit that you're pushing.
All right. Kacper, do you have your favorite?
For me, definitely going for the crowd control. I call it my personal favorite. Yeah. We saw the yellow hammer, my favorite run so far. You can do really damage. The thing is that Gabe is geeking about this so much because he's part of designing this. I just geek about this as a gamer because I just love to spend time right now playing it. There's so much more. I just cannot wait to see you guys having fun. Again, my favorite, definitely crowd control with the yellow hammer. That's it. I'm good.
The yellow hammer has some of the abilities, like if you block and time it just right, you can be like stunning
precisely,
people, which is really satisfying.
Actually, there was one moment where you hit the guy and he just like lose conscious for a second. You can just do whatever with the character. It's so fun. It's so much fun.
All right, so I think we can now summarize what we've just talked. So we have some
Nie pij tego, to jest płyn do naczyń, to ma fajnie wyglądać tylko.
And we've seen a little bit of Somi, and we met her motives behind
Ludwik tam jest.
And it's up to you guys if you want to trust her or not with your life and with everything that's going on. And I think we can move to another segment, which will be about Dogtown itself.
Dogtown, yes.
All right.
A bo tam cytrynówka jest.
Already Gabe mentioned a lot of things about Dogtown, but we're gonna get a little bit deeper into that and share some more information. So let's get into the gameplay. And Kacper, what can you tell us about Dogtown? How does it fit into Night City in general? How is it different?
So one of the first questions we asked, we're trying to design Dogtown, was exactly that: how we can make it different yet feel like it's connected to the same city itself, environment. And of course we had the backstory.
Psie miasto to będzie. Miasto psów.
Dream of very luxury,
Policja
very
będzie
rich
wszędzie.
place on earth that you can go and have fun and do crazy other things. Yet it never come true because the war happened, right? And people, Militech and other companies, corporations actually, just pulled off out there and just everything stayed there. All the damaged buildings, even all the hardware that we're helping to build those buildings.
Dokładnie, dlaczego policja jest ulepszona.
And for us as artists and storytellers, it gave us a lot of tools to create those stories. Meaning, for example, Night City, it's not very, I would say, safe place, yet
Dziękuję ci za 4
a city of
miesiące.
dreams, right? So we try to make the contrast there. Where here, it's the total dystopian world, right? So we had the tools of showing this decaying world and how it goes, how it's being literally consumed by time, yet people trying to survive there. And that gives us a lot of opportunities because Dogtown itself, as you know, it's part of Pacifica. It's the part that before was closed off because of the whole building structures. Right now it's opened and
Na skraj urwiska sprowadzono kolejnego więźnia.
Wilhelm subskrybuje.
Dzięki Wilhelm za pierwszego suba na moim kanale. Bardzo mi miło. Witaj.
I'm trying to make a proper sentence here. I'm sorry. The tools because for me as an artist, we had the opportunity to make this use of sand and decaying world, and this makes the whole thing consistent, right? However, yet every single part of the district is a little bit different. We have parts of the district were heavily inspired by Las Vegas, and we have casinos there. And
kasyno, Las Vegas, no pięknie.
Some of them are closed. We have parts where you can explore
no pięknie, hazardzik.
Spas and hotels, which are very decaying, let's say, overgrown even. We have a part where you can see, which is a glimpse of hope with, we call it containers, our internal name, let's say. But you can see there people are trying to survive there, and they're trying to build like a hope for themselves in this really hopeless place. So trying to build this contrast there. And there are few flavors that I want to talk about right now. I want you to explore this, but we really try to make, even if this, let's say, very characteristic district itself, still some flavors to it and different flavors. And I think it's going to be very, very, very much fun for everyone to explore and find those flavors and see the different environments for people to try to survive there, because it's not a pretty and safe place to survive and live in.
So if this is such a dangerous place, who gets to live there? Who decides, oh, I'm going to move to Dogtown?
I don't think it's like anyone woke up one morning and said, I want to change something in my life, and then go there living, because that's probably not the best place to go. However, there's a lot of different social layers, I would say, in Dogtown. We can start with all the people that are trying to escape from law, meaning NCPD, and trying to hide there. Maybe even conduct business, which is probably illegal there, but you can do crazy shit in Dogtown, because why not? There, of course, are people that maybe got drawn there because other reasons. There are people that are just living there because maybe they were pushed away by, life is life. In Night City, you have to be able to survive.
The kind of political situation there is very different than Night City. Like the NCPD's not there. As we said, it was the site of the war, and he was a colonel in the war against the Arasaka, so corpos aren't allowed there. So as Casper was saying, it's a place that some people want to or need to flee to. So it creates quite an eclectic mix and group, and it's also a place where things that are illegal in Night City can be done there. And so it all adds to the texture and the story potential and the side quests and stuff like that we have there as you explore.
And also gives us the opportunity to build contrast. Because we're trying to find contrast between layers, visual layers, and social layers. And here it's a lot of layers on top of each other, creating those contrasts. So I think it's very cool.
And we hope at the very beginning, when you see the big gate, and Somi's trying to get you past that gate into there, that we give you that feeling. You hear on the megaphones, and I'm not sure if the audio played there for them, but you hear on the megaphones where Kurt is saying, no NCPD, no corpos, so on and so forth allowed there. And you even have scenes where NCPD is trying to get in, and the bar guest, his militia, is back. Wait, am I allowed to curse? Yeah. Am I allowed to curse? I don't know.
One per stream.
Back the F up. No, okay. Anyways, so it just gave so much potential. And I think the other thing that we had a lot of fun with, and as Casper was saying, was just that sort of that feeling of oppression. It's even in the zone where people are they've got stands and they've got some commerce and they've got a life there. There's still those bar guest soldiers that are walking through, just making sure everyone's in order. So you feel that. And of course, the closer you get to the Black Sapphire, to his tower, the more it's sort of like a military encampment.
I would still add to that what you said is that because you may be made feel like Kurtz's people, bar guests, are there to protect you. It's not entirely the case.
No,
they're trying to protect themselves.
That's true. That's a good point.
But they're trying to maybe just make sure that they're okay, but they don't care about you.
Okay, but let's
circle
back a little bit. Okay, Barguest and Kurt. Who are they? Because Pacifica, we always thought it's like Voodoo Boys mostly, that's their term.
True.
But Dogtown is controlled by Barguest, and the leader of Barguest is Kurt,
It's Kurt,
right?
Yeah, I think we have to make sure that it's called clear. Dogtown itself still being part of Pacifica in terms of the map, like geography, what's the word here?
Geography,
thank you so much. But it's like as an entity, it's a separate thing, right?
Dobra, ja biorę tabletki.
It's almost like a Vatican in Rome. If it's a good example, maybe not. But you know what I mean? Like
as far as borders go, yes, but otherwise, everything
that's
else,
what I meant. Yeah. I meant by the borders. But yeah, so when you go in there, it's a different world, and it's run by Kurt, right? And the Kurt is an ex-special force military guy from Militech, and after the war, he started his own army, basically. And all the people, all the army people joined him that also couldn't find their place in the world after the war, and he basically created his own kingdom, let's say, even, right? He runs this place, and whatever he wants, he gets it. And what was the question? I got carried away a bit.
Because you started talking about Barguest without explaining who they are.
So his army, his militia, let's say, is called Barguest, right? The forces are called Barguest. He's Kurt Hansen running the Barguest, and it's his playground. They do whatever they want to do there. Of course, he's also a businessman, but I don't know how far we can go there.
We can leave it here.
Okay,
people can meet Kurt on their own and find out more about it. In this playthrough, they have seen a peek into Kurt's life, everyday life. But okay, that's it about Kurt. Let's go into Rosalind Myers, because she is another very important character. Gabe already told us a little bit about her. She gets lost in Dogtown with her Space Force One being destroyed and shot down from the sky, and we meet her. So let's see on the gameplay Rosalind Myers, and can you tell us a little bit more about her?
Yeah, so she is the president, and we get shot down there, and we find out that she's someone who can hold her own, but she definitely needs assistance in getting out, and it's just the two of you. And you're trying to kind of find your way and escape, Kurt and his crew who are chasing you. So it's kind of a fun kind of like look around every corner in the first. I'm always hesitant. I don't want to spoil too much, but in the first sort of segment of gameplay, and in this scene here, we're seeing in a hideout, and I'm not sure if the audio is playing or whatever, but they're listening to Kurt. And this kind of goes to the point that you're trying to say. He's he's not just all brute. He's a smart politician, and he's playing a political game here with the propaganda machine, if you will. To say that, this is a ploy, the president isn't really there, so everyone look away while he does what he wants to do. He's like, they're just trying to position Night City to be able to
No dużo się tutaj pije, to tego co widzę, to jest bardzo dużo, no.
So he's really putting everyone in a difficult situation politically such that he can maintain his power and of course keep the president at risk. And you are, I'm not going to spoil anything more. But,
Ja pierdzielę, ale
Okay, so let's recap. We get contacted by
gadają o
Songbird
jakichś
to help
pierdołach,
the
w sensie
president.
to są
Kurt
rzeczy, które
is the
każdy
dangerous guy
pozna, jak
in
będzie
here.
grał,
So
no.
how does Solomon Reed fit into the picture? What is he doing in Dogtown? I mean, he's our amazing Idris Elba portrait character. So
He's amazing, yeah.
So was this for me or for Casper?
I don't know. I don't know how far we can go here.
Okay. We can say who he is. He's a sleeper agent.
Yeah, he's a sleeper agent. And he's in Dogtown, right? So we meet him, and he's a big part of the story.
Yes.
He's awesome.
So
I'm really
He's got
here.
to check. I know. I'm with you. I've been asked this before on some other ones, and I hesitate. But he's got a.
Mówili no spoilers.
Rosalind Myers, Songbird.
A tu już wiesz, piątą postać mówią, którą będziemy mieli fabularnie do spotkania. Ja wiem, że oni omijają i oni mówią tak bardzo wybiórczo, że tam spotkacie jakiegoś policjanta i on tam będzie wam pomagał. Ale to serio, no to oni muszą wszystkie postacie wymienić teraz po prostu. It's
complicated, right? Like that's how we like to set it up. We like to create complicated drama.
I mean, the whole, district, Dogtown, everything sounds really complicated and, like always with kind of two sides of the coin, right?
The thing is that I feel like the only thing that we should be not spoiling is that we shouldn't put any perspective. Everyone.
Że nie mają o czym mówić, więc czytasz, że muszą kręcić z gównobata, muszą kręcić.
When you don't know the story, it's really tricky to know how to behave, let's say, in the situation. And I love this. And I love this because you're on the edge all the time.
Okay.
And
before we actually move on, we have a question from the Twitch chat.
O, Twitcha, na pewno.
Kacper.
Oh my God.
From Prostame. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong.
To jest na żywo? Przecież to nie jest na żywo, co oni to gadają?
Okay, that's a great question.
A to niech mi udowodnią, że to jest na żywo teraz, a nie jest to pre-recorded.
We always try to find any landmarks that will make the player understand navigation points. Even if we would be able to take away the map, the mini-map, you should be able to find yourself and navigate through Dogtown. The thing is that Dogtown itself, you probably saw it from the trailers, it's like a very U-shaped structure. So it's easy to navigate to see whether or not you are looking at the big buildings or other big buildings, which are very different. When you're going to see it, you're going to understand it. But also when you go slightly deeper into smaller environments, we always try to put small cues or buildings or even lights, because lights and shapes, they're the best tool to use for navigation. Going, let's say, even deeper into some parts of the Dogtown, we use things like tools like cables or colors or even things that you can just literally follow to find a path or something. So there's a plenty of things that we used across the Dogtown, and I really hope it works well, but I'm waiting for the feedback from you guys.
You'll be the judges.
Yeah, exactly.
Czy ja jestem pre-recorded?
Okay, guys, so before we wrap
Daj
up
suba, to
this
zobaczymy.
segment, I know that our community had a lot of questions about can we expect a new apartment for V in this district?
Yes.
Gabe's like,
yes. Simple answer.
It's awesome.
And it plays
it's
into the main storyline, so I'm not going to say any more than that other than yes.
Oh, and it's super cool and unique.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And one more, we have so many amazing characters. So we already talked about Somi, Reed, Kurt, Myers. Are there any new romance options in Phantom Liberty for V?
No. No, there's not.
Casual, no.
There's not. And here's the thing, is
Nie gram w to.
We talked about it, and it's like, okay, this situation in this story, again, without spoiling too much, there was never a moment in which it's like, okay, let's force romance and sex on you.
Nie będzie szło ruchać się z nowymi postaciami fabularnymi.
There. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think V will be busy with something else.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. So to sum up, we have a new district straight in Pacifica. The district is run by Barguest, whose leader is Kurt Hansen. This is basically a city within Night City with their own laws and law enforcement, etc. In Dogtown, we're gonna meet Kurt Hansen, Rosalind Myers, Solomon Reed, and many other characters that we want you to discover for yourself. And now we can go into something that was super highly anticipated by everyone.
Yeah, I think
What is it? Yeah.
we've had like millions questions about it.
Since the release of the game.
Already, yeah?
So we're gonna talk about the police.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I know. You guys worked so hard to actually, make sure that the police is the police in the city, and I know our community has a lot of questions about how it works.
All right.
So I think it would be best if we go, from the top to the very bottom. We have like amazing gameplay prepared for that.
Zauważyłem, że ludzie, których językiem, znaczy jak się mówi, podstawowym językiem nie jest angielski, tylko nauczonym, bardzo często gadają you know, a ludzie, dla których to jest podstawowy, prawie nie używają tego zwrotu.
Okay, all right. So do I just start from the top?
Can we talk about, why can we shoot?
Because it's awesome. That's why we can shoot. And right now we've got some mounted guns that it's shooting from. And if you go into, vehicles, all of them you can, use your pistols, your SMGs, and shoot from it. The vehicles, some vehicles have mounted turrets, of which we're demonstrating there. And then some vehicles.
Aha, no i będzie szło strzelać, patrzcie.
As well.
No, czyli jest pojazd, możemy w nim strzelać, są lasery, hakowanie. Właśnie system hakowania mi się podoba, że będziesz mógł zhakować inny pojazd, żeby coś się z nim stało. Zatrzymał się, wybuchł, podpalił. O, policja! Patrz, policja staranowała, ciekawe. Dobra, i to nie jest misja, moi drodzy, to nie jest misja, bo zobaczcie, że po prawej stronie macie główną misję fabularną, czyli Meet Hanako Embers, czyli to tak jakby ostatnia misja już jakby końcowa, a on sobie po prostu idzie po mieście, nie? Robi taki free roam. No dobra, czyli gwiazdki są 4 na 5. 4 gwiazdki. Dobra, kolejni przyjechali, zobaczcie, napierdzielasz się, 4 gwiazdki, kolejni. Większy wóz przyjechał teraz. Powinien czołg przyjechać. Znaczy na potrzeby chyba pokazu tutaj jest tak HP wzmocnione, bo no chyba, że nie wiem jaka to jest build, że on nie ginie, ale okej. 5 gwiazdek, dobra, mamy 5 gwiazdek. O, teraz już wóz opancerzony z działem przyjechał. O, patrz, to jest zajebiste, to mi się podoba. Czyli te wozy policyjne takie latające. I to jest uznawane już jako taki najwyższy, jednostka specjalna, tak? Jako taki kurde czołg w GTA.
And then if your vehicle gets hacked, then they show up in an AV, or if you're on foot already, and 4 max that come out. There's 5 different archetypes, and it's a random 4 of the 5 different archetypes that come out to fight you. And one of the things is like, as those of you who know you've played.
O, rzucanie policjantem. Widzisz, jakie to jest przyjemne, patrz. O, w ogóle zajebiście, zobacz, czy wy widzicie w ogóle tego policjanta? To jest ten, który był jako jednostka specjalna jako w pierwszy trailer.
So there is no story mode for maxed out.
So the moral is don't do
Z tym
crime.
specjalnym noktowizyjnym
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is,
hełmem,
you
nie?
don't get to this level unless you want it. You really
I to
gotta
powinno
touch
być od
this
początku.
level, right, to get it here. And so if you're engaging in that, we want to make sure that max tag is an encounter. Yeah, so what should I go into? I mean, I could talk forever about this stuff. There's just so much.
I don't know. I was playing and I was randomly just driving and was trying to get rid of the police. And the more I tried getting rid of them, the more of them were showing
No
up.
dobra,
So I actually
ale
reached max tag this
to mnie
way.
nie satysfakcjonuje, bo taka nawalanka z policją na ulicy to jest jak z każdym innym nawalanka, z gangiem jakimś tam. A ja bym chciał, żeby pokazali, jak wygląda to podczas jazdy. Czy policja może cię podczas jazdy na przykład zacząć gonić z jakiegoś powodu? Albo żeby cię jakiś... bo oni muszą pokazać, jak będzie się jeździło i będzie się strzelało prowadząc pojazd.
We try to strike the balance of the realism, but also the agency of being like, I'm trying to get out of this. And I'm not sure what's shown in this video, but we show you, like, we expand the radar, we show the circles, and we like to, internally, we call it the Pac-Man game. Because, like, if you've got, like, 2, 3, even 4 stars to some extent.
Strasznie forsują tą walkę pięśćmi, nie? Bo ten build jest zrobiony pod body.
And then, of course, if you get on foot, it's a little bit easier to lose them. So it should be familiar with that kind of look there. And then, of course, if you go into quest areas and there's a quest you want to pursue, we tone it down appropriately for the quest as well.
O kurwa, co to było? To był bóg, czy co to było? Nie, to jakiś cyberwariat.
And I had police on my ass. I actually had the gang members. Yes, that's my one. I had actually gang members, you know, helping me to fight the police. Is that the case as well? Like for most of the gangs, so I was just lucky.
Well, I mean, and I've talked about this in other interviews, but one of the important points is that the player is an agent that does stuff and it affects the world, but we also have other agents in the world, and we've also done a number of different enhancements on that front. You might see like 2 gangs just like chasing each other. You might see cops chasing some gangsters or whatever. It has nothing to do with you. It's happening in the world. The world's alive. Now, you can interfere, and particularly going back to Dogtown, if you see like a caravan doing a weapons transport or whatever, or there's an airdrop or whatever, and Kurt's militia's coming to pick it up, you can intercept, and maybe there's some cool loot to be found there or whatnot. But it's the same thing here. Like if you're into it with the police and there's something else going on with the gang, yeah, it can be a mix.
So they can help out, or not?
If you play it right, yeah. You gotta be careful where your bullets fly.
Okay. I actually also wanted to go back to the hit system because, you know, we have the stars, but can we actually explain how you can get the stars? Like, so if I, you know, shoot someone randomly on the street, do I get?
Teraz mówią o tym, jak będą gwiazdki rozdawane, w sensie poszukiwanie.
To get like 3 stars.
Well, so if you commit any crime, you get a star. Like that, any crime, you know, if you
Za każde przestępstwo jest gwiazdka, okej.
Shoot someone intentionally, you get a star. Now, especially when you get into Dogtown, but also in some other situations, you might get some stars based on quest situations, like things that are happening. And how do you? I mean, there's a formula and it's a gradient. So I can't say exactly like, okay, if you kill 3 people, it's an important point. It varies by district and neighborhood.
Okay.
And funding, right? Because part of the Cyberpunk world, Night City, in the story, it's socioeconomic. So they care.
O, teraz będzie pokazane chyba. Widzisz, masz broń.
One person, it's a star, it's a crime. But how far do they escalate? Do they send in the big guns? Do they send in max tech? It really depends on the funding in the district. And you also hear different, the police have different comments about what district and how much they care, what they're going to do, and that kind of stuff.
Aha, gonią nas.
Tell a bit more about Dogtown police, like, and will NCPD go there?
I mean,
o kurwa.
Vargas,
police is not allowed there, right? The thing is that there's no NCPD, right? The Vargas are there, and we said like they're trying to keep the district safe, but they're not that much trying to protect you. But still, if you're gonna shoot them, they will.
No i znowu policja go goni.
The same system goes: the more you shoot Vargas, the more you shoot people, the more stars they will have.
They have different units. They have different vehicles.
Can we talk what's going to happen over 5 stars in Dogtown? Or?
Well, it's a little bit of a spoiler. You already. Yeah, okay, fine. Never mind. At any rate, yeah, there's different units, but yeah.
Okay,
but I mean, no, in Dogtown, yeah, MaxHack will show up because if there's someone that's at that level and it's cyberpsychosis, like, you know...
Czy będzie mod na bycie
causing that much
policjantem?
mayhem, that's essentially what it is. Again, player agency-wise, it's not like we take over your
Fajne by
character
było.
and then you're doing a cyberpsychosis thing. Then yes, MaxHack will show up in Dogtown, but otherwise it is the Barghest militia.
To mają, widzicie, takiego specjalistę, kurde, w policji.
Someone's doing great jobs surviving such a long time with MaxTech. So.
Yeah. He was trying to show how badass
Tak,
he is.
wciąż nie pokazali, że czy policja jest w stanie gonić cię, czy robić ci pościg. Cały czas wychodzą z tego pojazdu i walczą na ulicy, nie? A ja bym chciał na przykład, jak mnie będą gonić, to ja może będę chciał, nie wiem, rozjeżdżać albo uciec im.
We will try to clarify anything that's unclear, or if you want to know more during the next stream as well, with maybe the same guest or maybe with someone else.
We actually have a cool question from our Twitch chat. So we can run from the police, we can fight with the police, but can we bribe them?
Co to jest bribe?
No, we don't have a bribe.
Took a second there.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I was just watching. I wanted to see what he did. He did Quake, which is really fun because when you do the slam, it does physics on vehicles, and you get some nice.
But that's props for him for really surviving such a long time. MaxTech.
All right, what's the next question?
Okay, so we have a question in general about Phantom Liberty. Does the story take us out of Dogtown at all?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, exactly.
So you're not gonna spoil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there are parts that you're gonna explore new places in Night City itself, but the majority of the thing it's Dogtown.
That's enough. I think that's enough for people to know. And another one: will Dogtown be accessible outside of Phantom Liberty?
So no, to be able to have the full experience of Dogtown, you have to get Phantom Liberty. However, for people that don't get Phantom Liberty, you're going to be able to see Phantom Liberty, Dogtown, from let's say, from perspective of someone that cannot get in there. So you're going to see the whole thing, you're going to see the gates, you're going to see people standing, trying to get there, but you will not be able to get because you don't have the access to it.
So you will see the gate.
Exactly. You see the gate,
W update'cie będzie dostępne to miasto, będzie widoczne, ale nie będzie można wejść do niego, jeżeli nie macie dodatku DLC kupionego.
I love it. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, he's trying to like they're shooting past him with the mounted.
Mówimy o Dogtownie, nie?
Outmaneuver. This is fun. And he's got you see the bar there, the hack. They're trying to hack, and they disabled his car.
Kiedy będzie multiplayer? Nie będzie. Przecież powiedzieli.
With my favorite weapon here. Look at that.
The bat. All right, what's the next one?
Chłopie, jak wychodził Cyberpunk, było gadane, że 3 gry naraz powstają w Cyberpunku. Jedna multi, druga single, a trzecia jeszcze jakaś inna związana z Cyberpunkiem. I nie wypuścili w końcu żadnej innej poza samym Cyberpunkiem, który został okrojony o połowę rzeczy, które miało być w dniu premiery i tak.
I had no idea how fun it's going to be, because it's really, really fun. And from one point of view, being fun is that it also gives so much more.
Czemu muszą być kobiety z kolorowymi włosami? Bo mogą, bo mamy takie czasy, że to jest posiadanie kolorowych włosów jest tak samo łatwe i tak dostępne jak nieposiadanie kolorowych włosów.
And I really had fun so much with it. So I'm just trying to say that this is just awesome. It's one of the best features I feel like we're introducing here, from my perspective, of course.
No, I mean, that's the goal is to try to give. I mean, and I've said this in other interviews, but the city is beautiful, right? Like in the dark future kind of.
Dlaczego mają zawsze gamerki? Wiesz co, to też są dziewczyny, które robią w jakimś tam w tej firmie, one też są pewnego rodzaju twarzą, one widzisz, udzielają wywiadów, prowadzą. Nie wiem, może chcą w ten sposób się wyróżniać. Nie mam pojęcia, stary, musisz z nimi pogadać, to są prywatne ich sprawy, kurde gościu. To jest tak jakby, idź się spytaj tego chłopa, czemu nosi brodę. Nie wiem.
We lost all the stars and
I think we're gonna be safe right now.
Może chcą się atencjować, nie mam pojęcia, stary.
The whole NCPD is dead.
But yeah, I guess we can go to the vehicle gigs.
Okay, so what we're gonna show you in a second is our brand new type of missions. So we're gonna have vehicle gigs. which, as Kacper already mentioned, are very well connected with the police system and the car combat, because you basically start getting chased, so it's very easy to kill someone, and then police gets into it, and so on and so on. So let's start with the next part of the gameplay.
No,
And
pokaż
here we found
pojazdy.
a car, and we will in a second get a call from Muammar Reyes, El Capitan, the fixer that you know from the base game. And there is one thing that we wanted to clarify. It's not Mama Wallace that is going to be selling you guys the cars and dealing with all those missions. It's Muammar Reyes.
Yeah, I don't think Mama Wallace would be able to sell the car. She can actually sell you a drink if you ask her nicely, but not necessarily a car.
W końcu pokazują z trzeciej osoby.
All right, so what can you tell us about these quests?
Yeah, so in Dogtown, you'll get this kind of new activity unlocked, vehicle gigs or vehicle contracts. Miramar reaches out and he's like, hey, you're in Dogtown.
Kontrakty samochodowe będą. Misje będą związane z Dogtown. To fajne, bo mi się podobały zadania, na przykład, kurde, z Delamainem misja z taksówkami, świetna była. Właśnie tego mi brakowało, żeby więcej było o samochodach. W sensie, ja wiem, że to nie będzie GTA, ale no jednak te samochody, jest ich trochę tutaj i one naprawdę niektóre ładnie wyglądają. I jeszcze jak teraz będą strzelać, czy jeszcze jakieś inne modyfikacje dodadzą. O, walka, o i teraz pokazane jest jak tutaj strzelać można. Oha, ciul. A, wjechali we mnie teraz i zaczęli strzelać do mnie. No ja mówię do mnie, w sensie, no jak ja bym grał, tak?
One of the key features of this is that you just see it, like you'll see on your map. It's like, oh, here's one of the targets, and it's dynamic. And the objectives are dynamic. And the enemies that come at you are dynamic. And it can be different gangs. It can be Tiger Claws. It can be Voodoo Boys. It can be whoever. And
a to jest jakiś gang, tak? Bo to nie jest policja, patrz. Okej, czyli można aimlock zrobić w trzeciej osoby, no bo się zastanawiałem, jak on celuje z trzeciej osoby. Czyli można po prostu zlokować i wtedy strzelasz, postać będzie automatycznie próbowała strzelić w niego. Ogólnie uważam, że zbyt łatwo doszło do wybuchu, gdy po prostu strzelał z jakiegoś karabinu do nich.
But you'll see it throughout Night City at that point.
But it won't be in the base game. It's just the Phantom Liberty.
This is one of the things in Phantom Liberty. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that we can actually unlock some cars with weapons, vehicles with weapons through that quest. But we had people asking us whether they can actually add weapons onto the cars that they already have.
No, it's preset. Though there are some vehicles in the base game that you already purchased or you already got, and we did add weapons to it because it was kind of supposed to be there. So.
O, fajnie nawet, patrz. Znaczy, to mi się podoba, w sensie, że te samochody próbują ramować, próbują go zrzucać z drogi, wjeżdżają w niego. Są agresywne, nie?
So you can be a hybridized netrunner, you can be a smidge of a netrunner.
You just need some cyber.
Ale powinni pokazać zaraz to hakowanie pojazdów. I wiecie, co powinno być? Że inni też cię mogą zhakować, ale jak będziesz jeździł jakimś starym pojazdem, który nie będzie miał elektroniki, to nic mu nie zrobisz, bo nie ma połączenia żadnego z elektroniką, ma tylko silnik spalinowy, nie?
And then probably the most fun one is you can remote control a vehicle. So,
really?
By hacking. Yeah. So you can remote control a vehicle. You're hacking. I got to remember to look at the red camera.
Yes.
Sorry guys, I'm not so great at that. But yeah, you can remote control it. A sandbox of combat, if you will. Decide if you want to drive it into people and into enemies, not people, enemies.
Fajny pojazd.
Yeah.
All right, that's super cool. Okay, so we are dropping by the car to El Capitan, and that's how the story ends, but we're also not gonna show you everything. And if you guys have a tail, so if the police is chasing you or the gangs are chasing you, you need to lose them, so you won't be able to.
A co to jest? Jakiś czeski piłkarz?
By then.
Yeah, and try to not destroy the car, you know, as much as you can, because, you know, he will probably comment on that. Like, why are you bringing me this ruin? Why, you know, we had a deal.
If you want to earn more, yes, definitely. Definitely.
Okay, cool, guys. So we can start finish watching this gameplay, but this is actually the last gameplay part of this stream that we have prepared today. I know that this is not all of the topics that have been mentioned in the.
I tak dużo pokazaliście, szczerze mówiąc. W sensie dużo gadali na temat tych.
But let's sum up. We told you about the revamped perks. You actually could see all of the trees that we reworked. They're less perks, but they are more impactful right now. Am I correct?
Yeah, I would say overall, but there is just so many more like actual action perks. So many more like things to do now, like a crazy amount more.
Okay, and this is coming with update 2.0, right?
It is. Yes.
It's not only Phantom Liberty. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Is this where we talk about that part?
Yes, we can. We summarize everything and we tell people what is coming in the update and what is coming in the expansion.
All right, yeah. So the perk overhaul, all the new ways to play, the new ways that we revamped the Netrunner, the body, the strong solo, the fast solo, the techie, all the different hybrid combinations you guys are going to think of. Yep, that's all in 2.0. The revamp of the police
Cieszę się, że
system.
jesteście.
Dzięki, Krzysiek.
Dar jest szefem
Witam,
6
pół roku.
miesięcy. Siema.
Siema, Krzysiek, dzięki.
Obviously,
That's
Phantom Liberty,
Yep.
Dogtown District, also Phantom Liberty, Reed, Solomon Reed, Songbird, Myers, Kurt, Barges, also Phantom Liberty. Car combat. Will we see some car combat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Car combat's 2.0. I mean, you know, because it's like it'd be weird, like, oh, you can only draw your gun. No, it's the whole game.
But the car geeks are gonna be Phantom Liberty.
To będzie po prostu te rzeczy związane z walką i tak dalej, to będzie po prostu każdy to będzie miał, kto ma podstawę Cyberpunka, czyli te wszystkie rzeczy będą w grze, jak ten system samochodów, system policji i tak dalej. Nawet jeżeli nie będziecie mieli dodatku, to po prostu będzie częścią zawartości nowej aktualizacji, którą się ściągnie wraz z wyjściem z dodatku. Będzie to Cyberpunk 2.0.
Some of the questions from our community that you guys sent over to us during last few days. And yeah, we can start. So the first question would be by Showstopper. Will Netrunner have a significant change in the expansion?
Yes, they will. So we talked about the vehicle hacks that changed, but one of the kind of like.
A teraz będą o hakowaniu pogadać, tak?
We want you to do more
Zobaczmy.
in your gameplay loop, not just like, you know, do a little bit of net running, shoot, do a little bit, but more net running. I did talk about the nanowire and how we incorporated that, but you'll find that the way we.
Ja bym chciał zobaczyć, że można zhakować samochód i on jedzie se na pałę gdzieś tam z mostu zjeżdża na przykład, wiecie, że kierowca nie może go zatrzymać na przykład.
Really push your mastery in playing it. For example, you can now queue up multiple hacks on one target, and based on what you queue up, there's different combinations and things that can happen.
Chyba nie powiedzieli, Eryk.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of the familiar hacks you'll see from before, you know, Contagion, all the shock, all that stuff. But there's
znaczy, znając CD Projekt jest znany z tego, że jak te DLC robi, to te DLC są takie, no jeśli chodzi o fabułę i questy, to się do tego przykładali zawsze, przynajmniej przy Wiedźminie, no te DLC-ki były dużymi, to nie były dodatki na 2 godziny, nie? To były takie dosyć duże te zawartości. No, mam nadzieję, że tutaj też, zresztą to będzie tylko jedyne DLC. Nie ma innego planowanego, nie?
So the next question is from Nerm, and it says, I think we touched on it a little bit. Are there different types of vehicle geeks, or are they all the same grabber cars?
they're different, right?
Yeah, well, we talked about it. So, but obviously, grabbing a car is essential to it, and vehicle combat, right? But then, yeah, the objectives are to.
No ale co ja mam ci powiedzieć? No są dodatki do Wiedźmina, no były bardzo, no były dobre, no bardzo dobre. No tutaj no, nie ma co gadać. No jak ktoś gada, że nie wiem, DLC do Wiedźmina, który tam kosztował na tamte czasy ile tam 60 zł czy ile? I był niezadowolony z zawartości tego dodatku, no to chyba był chory na umyśle, mi się wydaje.
And I think we said this in another interview, but your experience with Johnny in Dogtown, there's a story arc to it.
Wiecie, co jest najgorsze? Że teraz powinny być na odwrót kamery. Czemu oni są na największym? Czemu ja nie mogę zobaczyć teraz, wiesz, na pełnym ekranie tylko chłopak, który po prostu tworzy i gada o grze? No okej, ale dajcie mi na odwrót te kamery teraz.
So I'm skipping a few questions because we have already answered those, but there is a nice question that we touched up on, but we already know why Night City gave up on Pacifica. There was a war, but the rest of the questions is asking why
Nie,
did
to nie było.
Dogtown?
Argus, dogs.
Yeah,
it's a colloquial term. It's not like an official term.
Of course.
It's like the because of Kurt Hansen, his dog, his Bargast, and so they call it Dogtown. Oh, what? This shirt here.
I don't know.
Whose side are you on?
I don't know.
I think he likes Vargas too much.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, they did an amazing job with.
They do have interesting lives.
Yeah. They did an amazing job with Dogtown, so it makes sense.
So there are no dogs in Dogtown, right?
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, they
Szkoda.
are, I guess. In a
Nie
way.
będzie psów.
If you count them.
Yeah. All right, so the next question will be by Andrew. How connected is Phantom Liberty to the rest of the story? Is it just a side story?
It is that's a difficult. I mean, it is its own contained story, but it is integrated in that it has all to do with V, or not. I mean, it's like V's situation is a big part of that story, so it's integrated in that way. But it is, you can play it by itself if you want to, or you can play it in an integrated way, as I think we touched at the beginning.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so the next question is from Vergener. How post-apocalyptic will the upcoming expansion be? Will there be heavily overgrown locations, and how much of the post-apocalyptic surroundings will be felt in the expansion?
So as we briefly touched upon that, we try to make this dystopian world feel like it's almost post-apocalyptic. And yes, they're going to be overgrown places. They're going to be places which are deserted. They're going to be places which are almost falling apart.
No to zobaczymy, no.
And that's also what makes the contrast that people survive there, yet it's very, very harsh environment. So very post-apocalyptic, and I hope it fits the whole vibe of the thing.
Yeah, it does.
To będzie postapokaliptyczny klimat, okej.
I mean, come on guys, you can drop us still the questions.
Zrobiły se włosy. O czym wy gadacie, ludzie? Kurde, no zobaczyłem, że ma czerwone włosy i pomyślałem o tym sekundę tylko. Aha, czerwone, okej, farbowała. Koniec. O czym wy tam dupczycie? Co wam... Kurde, to jest niesamowite, na jakie wy pierdoły w życiu zwracacie uwagę. Jako prawdziwy facet to powinniście w ogóle nie zauważyć, że ona ma w ogóle włosy. Przecież faceci podobno nie zwracają uwagi na takie rzeczy jak włosy, fryzjer, ułożenie, fryzura. Co wy to gadacie?
Like I said,
We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, cyberware will be the next stream.
All right, sorry. Sorry, what was your question?
What about the street cred?
Will
the level of the street cred will be up?
No, that actually,
So just the level, okay.
Yeah. But you have new, with Mr. Hands, which we showed in the trailer, I'm not spoiling anything there, you can now fill that up, and there's, new stuff to be had there. And he's quite integrated with the story as well, which is a fun thing that we did.
Mr. Hans.
Mr. Hans.
Yeah, Mr. Hans, yes.
All right, so guys, thank you for answering those questions. If we get some more, we might try to fit them in, but we're getting closer and closer to the end of the stream. So I'm gonna sum up everything for you once again, and there is gonna be another stream in a couple of weeks where we're gonna deep dive in some other topics that have been also mentioned in the New Ways to Play video. For now, we talked about the revamped perks and skills. We showed you for the first time the full relic skill tree. We also went deeper into the Dogtown and showed you.
Dobra, ale co oni chcą pokazać na drugim streamie, to nie wiem. Nie mam pojęcia. No co, znowu będą o talentach pół godziny gadać? I znowu pokażą 5 fabularnych postaci, które żyją w Dogtown.
Upgraded police system, which is completely crazy right now. You can actually see that on the screen right now, how crazy that is. And we also discussed the brand new type of missions for you, which is vehicle gigs, as well as all of the loop with car chases and vehicular combat. There will be more stuff that we will discuss next time, but for now that's it.
Yeah, and briefly what Alicia mentioned, in the next stream, in a few weeks, we'll be talking about the cyberware changes, the armor changes, UI, combat changes. And, we will try to address a lot more questions from you guys. If you have anything specific that you would like to know and we didn't cover it today, about, Phantom Liberty or 2.0.
Jaka długość dodatku? Nigdzie jeszcze do tej pory nie zostało to nigdzie potwierdzone na 100%. Chyba że jest gdzieś i...
Very soon, September
Zgubiłem do
26th,
tego informację.
On PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, as well as PC. And the patch 2.0 will also come to those platforms a few days, weeks, who knows, earlier. So it will be a bit before.
Important thing, update 2.0 is not coming to last gen consoles, so PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
And you can also play Phantom Liberty on GeForce Now. And we also would like to highlight the newly announced NVIDIA DLSS 3.5, featuring reconstructions for all Cyberpunk 2077 and Phantom Liberty.
That's incredible. Sorry.
For you.
No, go ahead. Beautiful. I was about to say that. I was seeing on the monitor at the convention, and I was like, okay, so this is a new loading screen we've got there, and then I hit, no, it's not. It was actually the game. It just looked like a flash.
Yeah, I was flashing
technology.
Kuba, who's working with NVIDIA. Yeah. Because he's next to my desk. He's always like, "Come over, look at this." I'm like, "It's a movie. What you showing me next?" No, it's our game. I'm like, Jesus, it's incredible. Unbelievable. When you saw the update, I was like, you have to check this out. Really, I'm worthless right now.
Okay, so one more thing for our
jeszcze raz powiesz.
O! If you are a content creator who stream on Twitch, make sure to watch out for our social channels because we're gonna have a very cool thing for you very soon. So coming soon. And I'm afraid that we need. No. I'm afraid that we need to finish, but do you have any last words for our players, for our community?
Pewnie dropy jakieś będą.
We can't wait to get it in y'all's hands.
Albo coś.
Yeah, just thank you so much for the support and sticking there and yeah, we're amped. We're amped and believing in us.
Yeah, because it was a hard time, but Phantom is really gonna be awesome. I really hope everyone's gonna enjoy that as much as we did doing it, and it was a ride.
So soon.
It was a ride. Yeah.
Awesome! Thank you, Kacper. Thank you, Gabe,
so
for
much
joining
for
us. We're gonna have more information coming soon, but I hope you learned a lot from this stream and enjoyed it. So thank you very much, and see you next time.
Bye, Polish creators. Thank you for watching. No, akurat godzinka i 5 minut. Dobra, no słuchajcie, przynudzanie, połowa tego streama to było przynudzanie o talentach. Umówmy się. Reszta, już się coś działo, pokazanie auta, questy oraz w ogóle sama... Ja nie do końca to zrozumiałem, ale to będzie związane z poboczną historią, że poznamy chłopa, który będzie nam dawał zlecenia na samochody, żeby je zwozić i później. I no właśnie, jestem ciekaw... No i co dalej? Czy na przykład z tymi samochodami będziemy mogli tam pogrzebać przy nich, zmienić ich wygląd, wiecie, kurwa, tam pozmieniać ich części? Szkoda, że niestety chyba nic nie powiedzieli i nie będzie niestety modyfikacji, na przykład, że silnik lepszy, opony lepsze i tak dalej. Chyba nie. Ale czy na przykład do samochodu będzie można dodać działko albo je usunąć, nie? Coś takiego, ale ogólnie sama robota związana z kradzeniem samochodów, przywożeniem ich, albo ze złomowaniem ich, albo nie wiadomo co, no to jest fajne, nie? Bo nie każdy chce od Cyberpunka historii przegadanej, że znowu gada, bo wiesz, my tu walczymy o dobro Night City, musisz się przyłożyć, musimy go śledzić, to jest niestety okropny człowiek. A niektórzy chcą rozpierdzielać, niektórzy chcą pieniędzy tam zdobywać, wiesz, tam dużo możliwości powinno być właśnie takich pobocznych. Tak, My Summer Card w Cyberpunku zrobią. O! To by było dobre. Właśnie, słuchajcie Polacy, tu jest taka gra. Możecie z niej wziąć system, jakbyście chcieli, w garażu. No tu już macie gotowe asety, bo to są gotowe asety za darmo do ściągnięcia na silniku. Tu możecie sobie, patrz jakie fajne to by było, nie? Gitara.